Okay, three, two, one. Hello, everyone. Welcome to our table predictions for 2018 to 19 for the Premier League. So, me, Dean, and Cletus will be discussing what we think the table will look like at the end of the season. Cletus isn't actually here, but he sent us our voice. He sent a little clip, so we'll add that in.
So, at the top, who's going to win the Premier League? Manchester City, no doubt. No doubt Manchester City are going to win the league. Why are they going to win the league? Look at what they did last season. Did great things. Most points, most goals, most away wins. They got good quality players. They got a great manager with a great style of play that every single player on that team plays absolutely well. Okay, maybe they didn't get to the expectation in the Champions League and in the FA Cup, but I do rather just say in the FA Cup they played absolutely poor. No doubt about it. They played just poor. Second in the table, we all know that Liverpool should be there in the second in the table. I don't feel like do they have the cutting edge to win the league? It's a bit I don't know. I can't definitely say that they have that that thing going for them. But what they got going for them is what? Three great front players. Mo Salah, Mane, Firmino. Great players. They bought Fabinho, Naby Keita. I can't even pronounce his name right. Naby Keita, Alisson. They bought great players to fit in the positions where Jurgen Klopp feels like he needed to strengthen him. Right, moving on to third. Okay, my third position prediction might be a bit questionable. I kind of went for Chelsea. Why do I say Chelsea? New manager. We all know Chelsea strive under new managers. We all know that. And Sarri, being the sort of manager that he is, attacking football, a great manager with a great philosophy, well, there's still a bit of a question. How are the players going to fit in that sort of system, and how they're going to fit? Do they have the players to even make it happen for them to get back to where they were? That's that's very questionable. By the end of the day, have they got a good chance to be to finish in third? I feel like they do. Then I move on to fourth place, Manchester United. Well, this might shock everybody why I put Manchester United in fourth place. By the end of the day, this is a team who got second place, right? But looking at the transfers, looking at the attitude of the manager, and looking at the attitude of Ed Woodward and how everything is playing out, it does not look right. It just feels a bit disjointed. Like there's no cohesion between Jose and the club. There's no agreement. And Jose and the players as well. There's no sort of collective vibe in there because Jose goes out, criticizes his players. His players feels unprotected, feels vulnerable, and we all know the Premier League media and the British media, when a manager criticizes the players, it is taken way out of proportion. And should we say all managers should protect their players when they're in the right? Yeah. When they're in the wrong, should you protect your players? And whatever is said in the locker rooms should be kept in the locker rooms? Yeah. And whatever situation that's going on between the player and the manager should be kept behind closed doors? I believe so. But do I like a manager who expresses what it just expresses itself? Of course I do. But then it comes to Jose managerial experience. Jose is very experienced. There's no doubt. This guy has won a lot of trophies. He's brought up some good talented players. And he let go some players that are now pinching him on the bum. There's no doubt about it. But when you see the performances of Manchester United last season, you start to question yourself. Why are they just settling for second? Why just settling from the round of 16 in the Champions League? Everything does not seem right in there. Only time we tell what happens to Jose. Moving on to fifth, I put Tottenham Tottenham in 5th. What I put them there is because they got a new stadium. I'm guessing they will have to pay the stadium off. So they haven't got a lot of transfers. They haven't got a lot of players. But apparently Jack Grealish is on a radar. I think they're close to getting Jack Grealish. Only time we tell. Do they have the players to get them higher up the table? Yes, they do. Harry Kane, Dele Alli, Eriksen, Son. The names goes on. Lukamora. The names just goes on. Lamella. The names goes on. But I just feel like they lack a bit of depth in the squad. I feel like that we come to haunt them going into the latter stage of the season. Then we move on to the Gunners, Arsenal. After the departure of Arsene Wenger, the fans got what they wanted. A new manager, a new fresh manager with fresh philosophy. He brought in some good players. They're not great players, but they're good players. Good enough to play for Arsenal, definitely. Most of the players have stayed. Okay, apart from Jack Wilshere, who's gone to West Ham. You know, most of the players have stayed. They still got great players in that squad. So are they going to get higher up in the table? Who knows? I'm not too sure they will. You know, Unai Emery is a great manager. He's a top manager. But at the end of the day, it's his first season in the Premier League. So I'm going to give him a benefit of a doubt. He could get higher. But my prediction is they're going to finish 6th. Moving on to 7th place. 7th place, I feel like this season is so tight and it will be so competitive for every single team that's on there. I've gone for West Ham. Pellegrini is a proven quality Premier League manager. No doubt about it. West Ham have just gone on to spend a whole lot of money on players they actually need. Players that will make them better. Look at what David Moyes inherited last season. Was it good enough for them to get higher up the table? No. Arnautovic was the only star player on that team. Who was getting them 10 plus goals? No one apart from Arnautovic. So they've gone on to get Jack Wilshere, Felipe Anderson, another good defender. They've gone on to get some good players. So Pellegrini knows what he wants. West Ham are going out to get what he wants, and I feel like if what Pellegrini is bringing onto the table works well, and the players works well on his philosophy and on his tactical abilities, West Ham could definitely finish 7th. When you come to the bottom end of the table, it's just so hard to predict who's going to be there. It's so hard. It is very, very hard. The bottom 3, in my opinion, or my prediction, is Cardiff, Fulham, and Brighton. I just feel like Brighton, they really strived to stay in the league. Fulham, yeah, they might have got Mitrovic, but is it going to be enough to make them survive? Cardiff, we see how they did a couple of seasons ago when they were promoted and they went straight back down. It's going to be tight in the bottom end. It's going to be very, very, very tight. And yeah, that is my Premier League prediction table.
For me is City, Liverpool, United, Tottenham, Chelsea and Arsenal. So I think with City being so dominant last year, I can only see them maybe not being as good, or maybe they will. But however, I just think they're going to dominate and win again. They've got a good squad, a good manager, and it just seems to be set up right for them. I think Liverpool, they were really good last season. They were scoring goals, and they just seem to be on another level than they had been before. And I think with the new signings of Fabinho and a new keeper and everything else, they're plugging some holes. And I just think this year they'll go for it rather than the Champions League. I think United will get 3rd. I think Mourinho has them quite well drilled. They're hard to beat last season. And I just feel like I think some players will click this season and have a much better season altogether. Tottenham have made no signings so far, so I just think it's quite a transition for them, and I think they're good enough to be fourth, but I don't think they've got the depth or just the signings to go any further. Chelsea also in a transition, new manager again, possible, possibility of Hazard leaving, Courtois leaving. There's a lot of change, and it's just going to be hard to deal with. So I think they'll be fifth again. Well, not again, but they will be fifth. Sixth for Arsenal. I think they'll improve on last season in terms of progress. I mean, they were absolutely diabolical, judging by the Arsenal Fan TV videos, and they just chucked away matches. It was incredible. And then that's my top six. Was that alright? Okay, so Dean, do you want to present your top six for this season? Oh. Did you make my table? Huddersfield, Cardiff, Brighton. Okay. Okay. I predicted for the bottom three to be relegated. I think Brighton will be 18th. I think they would just meet out. They've got some good players, but I think I don't think they've got the right transfers. I don't think they're going to perform as well, and I just think they're going to go down, unfortunately, because I like seeing them play, to be fair. I think in 19th, it's going to be Cardiff. I think Cardiff are going to come up and then go straight back down. I don't think they're going to be able to do it in the Prem. I think Fulham are going to excel rather than Cardiff in the Prem. And I just think that. I think bottom is going to be Huddersfield. I just think they're going to have a shit season. I think they're going to have shit transfers. I think they're going to have shit players. And I think they're going to go down in a miserable fashion.
Right, number one, Manchester City. I mean, come on, let's face it. Who else can fight Manchester City, really, bar from a Liverpool team who haven't won the Division 1 title in going on for 30 years? Manchester United seem to be in a position of disarray and confusion and not really in a good state, really, are they? Jose Mourinho, I mean, the media are labelling him on the warpath. If he's manager next season, I'd be very surprised. So, Manchester City, I mean, they've got all the ingredients you need to win a title, haven't they, really? I mean, come on. Look who they've got. The squad that was self-proclaimed the Centurions, they've gone on to get 100 points in a Premier League season for the first time ever. And they've only gone and added to the squad with Riyad Mahrez, a Premier League winner in himself. He has the experience to win the league. I have no doubt that they will finish the season as the only team to retain the Premier League title since Manchester United did it in 2009. In second place, it's painful to say this, but I'm going to have to go with Liverpool Football Club. I mean, Jurgen Klopp, it's almost as if his promises are starting to come true, really. Everyone thought he was absolutely fucking off his nut when he said in his opening press conference that we'd be able to challenge for the league within 3 years. Everyone thought he was fucking deluded. But, you know what I mean? Look at him. He's crafted a winning team. Got all the way to the Champions League final last year. Mohamed Salah has been a revelation, breaking the Premier League all-time top goal-scoring record. If he continues to have a season like he did last season, then they're only going to get better. I mean, the transfer business that they've managed to pull off this summer has been probably the best in the league, possibly the best in the whole world, really. Fabinho, 40 million, sought after by plenty of clubs. Xherdan Shaqiri on a dirt cheap price of 13.5 million. Brilliant signing. Naby Keita, they brought him in last season. They paid premium just to get him in on that release clause that was activated at the end of last season from Leipzig. 22 years old, he's got the world at his feet. And then the one hole which every Liverpool fan thought that was the problem, Alisson Becker from Roma, £65 million, breaking the goalkeeping record transfer fee wise. I mean, he's only going to provide solidity, isn't he, really? He reminds me of David De Gea when he first joined. Not as young, but you give him the experience, he will deliver. And it's saddening to say that I've got Liverpool in second place. Third place, I've got Manchester United. I mean, it's not the best of starts, is it? Jose Mourinho already looking like he wants to pick fights with practically every single person that he speaks to, really. He just seems like a very angry man. And the transfer business hasn't been exactly airtight and waterproof, has it? Fred, yeah, okay, good signing. Yet to be seen how he performs in the Premier League. We won't know that. Diogo Dalot from Porto. I mean, he's only had 6 months worth of professional football, first team wise, in his career, so expect him to be in a squad rotation role come this first season as we sort of try and phase Antonio Valencia out of the club. Okay, fair enough. And then Lee Grant, yeah, it's exactly what it says on the tin, innit, with him. They need a centre-back. I mean, the time for Chris Smalling and Phil Jones in the middle of the park has got to be gone now, surely. If they don't, they are not going to challenge for a league title like the United fans need them to, like the board need them to, like Jose Mourinho wants them to. Toby Alderweireld, if they get him in, it'll be a much better season. If they don't get a defender in, I worry about them. But I think the Alderweireld deal will get done, which is why I've got them at number 3. Fourth place, I've gone for the only club not to sign a player as of recording, Tottenham Hotspur. I mean, their first 11's sort of stable. It hasn't really changed in the past couple of seasons. They know how to play with each other. They understand each other. Maurizio Pochettino's done a brilliant job, really, of transforming the club from challenging for European football to competing year in, year out for the title, really. I mean, Harry Kane, what is there to say about him? He's got the goals. There's no doubt he'll continue to fire him in next season. Christian Eriksen, an underrated player in my opinion. I think he's one of the best in the league. I think he's one of the best in Europe. I really do. I think he'd give Coutinho a run for his money as the best in that sort of number 10 attacking midfield role. Dele Alli, still young, still improving. He's just taking it year by year and he's improving as a player. I'm no doubt you will see an improved Dele Alli this season. The only situation is they need signings. I mean, it's probably too late this transfer window now. If they get Jack Grealish in, yeah, it'll be a bit of squad depth for the season, but in terms of quality, I don't really think Grealish is enough to get them to where they should be. They should be fighting for the title now, shouldn't they, really? I mean, come on. They need to pull their fingers out of their arse and do some fucking business. Fifth place, I've gone for Arsenal. Unai Emery. A massive transition period now for both London clubs, Arsenal and Chelsea. But I've gone for Arsenal to get fifth place because I think it's more of a seamless transition for the Emery era rather than going from Antonio Conte to a Maurizio Sarri style of football, Sarri ball with the Blues. I think they've done some decent business. They've plugged some holes that needed to be plugged in. I think Lucas Torreira from Sampdoria is going to be the signing that they've been lacking crucially for the last 5 seasons. A sort of hound of a midfielder. Loves to win a challenge. He loves to win the ball back, and that's his main job. And I think at the age of 22, 23. I think he's got a lot to prove in the Premier League, and I think he'll prove it. Bernd Leno in goal. Again, Petr Cech is an ageing goalkeeper. His time has come and gone. He's on the decline. They needed to bring somebody in to provide a bit of competition. Is Leno the guy? I don't know. I mean, top second top, I mean, in the errors for goalkeepers in the Bundesliga last season. If he does that in the Premier League, he's going to get crucified. He's got to learn to avoid those mistakes wherever possible, and Unai Emery needs to be the man to coach him out of it. Chelsea in 6th. I think it's going to be a big transition year. I think it's going to be similar to that of Jose Mourinho taking over from Louis van Gaal, really, a couple of seasons ago. I think it's going to take time to bring his players in. I think it's going to take more than one transfer window to sort the squad out. I don't think the squad, as of current, is ready to take on the style that Maurizio Sarri wants them to play. I think Marcos Alonso at left back. I think left back needs an upgrade. I think they need another defender. Courtois on his way out to Real Madrid. If they replace him with Kepa from Bilbao, fair enough. They've plugged that. If Eden Hazard goes, it's a different story entirely. I mean, the guy, it's not a one-man club. It's disrespectful to call him a one-man club, but they could easily do it. They could easily just capitulate without Eden Hazard. They need him. He is that crucial to them. So I've got Chelsea to miss out on 5th place, but I've got them to win the Europa League. Cut. Yo, this is your bit now, McGimsey. Yeah, I've made it. Oh, I've got it on my Mac. Don't worry. What do you mean? You donkey. Oh, it's alright. I'll edit it. I'll just say you've done exactly the same. Well, we can't do it now. Is that it then? Is that video done, yeah? Are we done? Nah, skip the mid-table. Just go straight to relegation. Yeah. We trust me, we ain't got time. Just make it up. I'll edit it in, don't worry. Do what you want. Wow. All right, let's go. Right, speed trivia. Right. Relegation. These are the teams that are going to miss out on another Premier League season next year. Rock bottom, Huddersfield Town, David Wagner. I feel sorry for you because you have a very good style of football that you like to impose on your players, but because of your squad, it's sadly not going to be enough. You had a good start this first season. You had a good start. You tailed off ridiculously. I think it'll be too much for you this season. You haven't really strengthened, not in terms of quality. I think you'll finish dead last. Sorry, David. 19th place, Cardiff City. I mean, if Neil Warnock lasts the season, it's going to be a miracle. It really is. He gets sacked every single season. As soon as he comes back up to the top flight, he's just not cut out for it, is he? I just don't think Cardiff City have a good enough squad to survive. I really don't. I mean, they bought Bobby Reid in from Bristol City. It's a championship signing. That's £10 million, and he's meant to be your new striker. Nah, I'm not having it, mate. I'm not having it. Cardiff, you're going down. 18th place, Brighton and Hove Albion. Chris Hughton. Again, another manager that I actually like. I admire him. Yeah, I think he's done decent jobs at Newcastle, at Norwich, and I think he's done a brilliant job at Brighton. But sad thing is, there's always got to be 3 teams that go down, and he's the 3rd on the list. I just think everybody else has strengthened. I don't think Brighton have really made any forward move. I don't think they've improved as a squad, and I think that will show in the points total for this season. So, Chris Hughton, again, I feel sorry for you. Like I feel sorry for David Wagner. I don't feel sorry for Neil Warnock, though. All of you lot, you're going down back to the Championship.